Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. How are you doing today? I, for one, am once again mad that this is even necessary to research. Things have been kind of crazy this year, right? I have been kind of lax about uploading for the past several months because I've just had stuff going on, but now I'm back and I'm gonna start uploading far more frequently, hopefully. But today's episode, we're gonna talk about a person, but we're also, more importantly, gonna talk about the implications of this person having support. Get your Jewish space laser ready, because we're gonna talk about Marjorie Taylor-Greene today. Like, seriously, I'm mad, Jewish space laser. All right. Marjorie Taylor-Greene was born in Midgeville, Georgia, raised in Alpharetta, Georgia. At least kind of, there's a couple different towns here on the paper, and I'm not from Georgia, so I don't. Probably near each other. I'm thinking, maybe. She was born to a Mr. Robert Taylor, owner of Taylor Commercial, a construction and siding company. And when she was in high school, apparently her school got taken hostage by a senior. Apparently this happened while she was a junior, and a 17-year-old took over the school and, had a gun. One or two guns, it's unclear. This happened in 1990. Her high school was South Forsyth High School in Cumming, Georgia. About the event, she says, "I understand how terrible it is because when I was 16 years old in 11th grade, my school was a gun-free school zone, and one of my schoolmates brought guns to school and took our entire school hostage." Marjorie Taylor-Greene said that in a speech on the House floor in February of this year, this month, explaining her position on gun rights and school shootings. "I know what it's like, and it was because it was a gun-free zone that my whole school got taken hostage, in which 0 people were injured. So take that, Parkland." As adults, Marjorie and her husband Perry bought Taylor Commercial from her father. Just taking over the family business and being a job creator. The company's website has been down for at least the past week. I'm sure it's just a coincidence. The purchase was in 2002, and Taylor-Greene was listed as the CFO from 2007 to 2011. Stepping down for, I guess, reasons that haven't really been publicly stated. I'm going to be honest with you, out of everything that I had to look up about this woman, that definitely and understandably slipped my mind as to why she stepped down as CFO. So I don't know why she did. But what is interesting is when she stepped down, she got really into CrossFit, social mediaing about it, podcasting about it, competing, actually has an athletic profile online. I'm not joking about CrossFit. You're just a CrossFit athlete. I didn't even know that was a thing. I figured at that point you're just lifting, right? I don't know. People get really into CrossFit. She was working as a part-time coach. Within a year, Georgia gym owner Jim Chambers is quoted saying, "CrossFit had kind of taken her life over," adding, "She had a lot of time and a lot of money and a vague ambition to run a gym." Don't we all? But she actually did go on to own a gym in 2013. So this is a 2-year time lapse, opening up a gym with her 22-year-old business partner. Marjorie Taylor-Greene, a staunch conservative, has been outspoken against any kind of help or assistance from the government during the pandemic. Taylor Commercial, during the 2020 pandemic, received a PPP loan in the amount of $182,300. Ka-ching? She claimed to be saving 12 jobs, so, that's good, I guess. But this wasn't enough. She wanted to get involved in politics and social issues, such as writing 27 articles for Law Enforcement Today in 2018 and authoring 59 articles as a correspondent for the now defunct American Truth Seekers, an American conspiracy news website. She started going to gun rallies, started going to gun rights protests, and ended up being one of the top officials in the Family America Project. It turns out that she was a moderator for the Family America Project's Facebook page, and this page included a bunch of stuff, including bigotry towards the Obamas, being associated with the John Birch Society, which, among other things, believes that the United States government has been infiltrated by communists. Okay, real question. How come all super alt-right conservatives think that we're living in an 80s movie? It's like they peaked in the 80s. Oh, okay. That makes sense. So living in a Tom Clancy reality and believing that America can only be saved from socialism by Donald Trump, Marjorie decides to run for office in the House of U.S. Representatives. So in 2020, she decides to run for Georgia's 6th district, very quickly changing to 14th district just because Tom Graves decided not to run again. So she hits the ground running with a little over $5,000 from the Georgia Republican Party, and while she is in the middle of running, she attends a gun rights rally, which in itself isn't surprising. No one's surprised. What was a little bit more unsettling about this particular gun well, a gun rally is unsettling. A gun show isn't necessarily the unsettling part of it, although all can be unsettling. It's equal opportunity unsettling sometimes with gun people. The purpose of this particular rally was that, hold on, I actually have to read this one off the page. It's a lot of America and patriots in names that are not the same group. It was a rally with American Patriots USA, which is a far-right group looking to further influence Georgia Republicans, and they have formed an alliance with far-right group American Brotherhood of Patriots and the far-right militia Georgia 3% Martyrs to advocate for Georgia's secession from the United States. At this particular rally, she decided to hold up a banner for American Patriots USA banner, sorry, I had to check it again, and was posing for photos with one Chester Doles, a fifth-generation Ku Klux Klansman, and Grand Claliff? Okay, so I just had to look that up, like what the heck a Grand Claliff is. Claliff? Basically, it's a rank among KKK. So, like, usually when you're posing for a picture with someone, you generally either know who they are or know them. I'm not saying that was the case, but I'm just saying it seems that way. Holy crap, Chester Doles has nearly a dozen assault arrests and served 2 separate prison sentences in Maryland. And his second prison sentence, which was his longer one, was for the vicious 1993 beating of a black man he and a fellow Klansman left for dead. Yeah, I gotta put trigger warning on the beginning of this episode. Several months later, she ends up going to another gun rally in September, and security was provided by camouflage-wearing 3% Martyrs of Georgia. One dude even had a battle axe. Just go to Ren Fair. No, I don't. We don't want you there. This might come as a surprise to you, but she's a staunch supporter of Donald Trump and has posted pictures of herself holding AR-15 style rifles in several situations, including but not limited to, basically saying that she's the squad's worst nightmare. Another one saying that Antifa terrorists should stay the hell out of northwestern Georgia. And she was an overwhelming favorite, and she won. And I know people are like, oh, but you know, she was running unopposed, and the guy that she was supposed to go against dropped out, and that was a really good chance. Actually, no, there wasn't really a good chance. No Democrat had won the district since its creation in 2012. And even then, he won one of the higher records, which was 25% of the vote, which isn't a lot. Basically, it wasn't even close. Fun fact, when she posted the squad's worst nightmare one, basically saying we need strong conservatives who are going to go up against people holding an AR-15 style rifle. Facebook did actually end up taking that one down because it violated their terms of service. And this seems to be a theme in her life. But all things said and done, she was the first Republican woman elected to a full term from a Georgia district. So, girl power. So she was sworn in on January 2021. And immediately from the get-go, her cricket machine just getting some work. 3 days later, the Capitol gets stormed. I love how people were also just like, oh, but what about a 7-Eleven burning down in St. Louis? Like, I live in St. Louis. There's a difference between a 7-Eleven and the capital of the country. While sheltering in place during the storming of the Capitol, she refused to wear a mask and was like yelling at people. And what do you mean this coupon is expired? And during the subsequent debate to impeach Trump, ends up saying Democrats must be held accountable for their violent rhetoric that encourages things like this to happen. And if that's not projection, I don't know what is. Democratic Representative Jason Crow from Colorado has referred to her as morally bankrupt, depraved, and frankly dangerous. She actually filed articles of impeachment the day after Joe Biden took office to basically say that Joe Biden had abuses of power and was colluding with a foreign government. Again, projection. It's a theme. It's a theme for the times. And like a ton of representatives started actually drafting motions to have her removed from office. But she did end up getting removed from all of her committee appointments, which I don't know why she was on the education committee in the first place. That doesn't make any sense. On to her political positions that I'm sure you'll be absolutely shocked by. She opposes abortion and supports the defunding of Planned Parenthood. Not really a shocker. That's not a fringe Republican belief. And neither is this next one, which is just very pro-Second Amendment. Will not vote for anything that makes it harder for people to own and possess guns. And actually, during her campaign, she tweeted her intention to do a giveaway of one of her AR-15 style rifles. So, if you got it, good on you, I guess. She's very against mask wearing, except for when her Cricut machine is pumping out the mask logos. She says children shouldn't wear masks, or vaccines for the pandemic shouldn't be a thing. Lockdowns and masks are oppressive, and it's just Democrat tyrannical control because Democrats invented germs. She didn't say that last part. I'm just assuming it's something that she believes because it would follow. And now we're starting to get into the, it's all scary, but this is where it starts to get a bit scarier and a bit more shocking. She opposes the Black Lives Matter movement, describes it as a radical Marxist group, and has compared Black Lives Matter to the Unite the Right rally that happened, white nationalist rally that happened in Charlottesville, where a Black Lives Matter protester actually got ran over by a white nationalist. But according to her, not to worry, that was an inside job by Black Lives Matter, because anything that makes her look bad is Black Lives Matter or communism. Real quick, circling back to the whole, like, she won't wear a mask thing, but, like, that's the only thing that she's putting on her face. Like, why not have your Cricut machine do t-shirts if you're against masks? Silly me, I'm trying to apply logic to a logicless situation. She has stated, and this is a quote, anyone that is a Muslim that believes in Sharia law does not belong in the United States government. And has contended that Black Americans are held as slaves to the Democratic Party. Wow. She stated before she was in office during the 2018 midterms that Rashida Tlaib and Ilhan Omar are part of a Muslim takeover of America. Can we stop it, please? This is stupid. Besides, y'all Christians did a good job at taking over this place. It actually was bad enough. She's so anti-Islamic that it got to the point where she and a bunch of her supporters waltzed into congressional offices trying to get Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib to retake their oaths of office on a Bible instead of a Quran, claiming that to be in American office, you have to be a Christian. This is not true. In fact, the Constitution specifically has a clause against it, and I quote, it says in Article 6 of the Constitution, no religious test shall ever be required as a qualification to any office or public trust under the United States. Doesn't make it any less disturbing that she did it. Just because it's stupid doesn't mean it isn't disturbing. She has called for Georgia and Michigan's results to be decertified. She has voiced objections to Michigan's, but she has vocally stated that Georgia should be decertified. She has vocally supported executing Democratic colleagues, including Nancy Pelosi and Maxine Waters. Like, the vast majority of everything I'm saying about her, including threats of violence or wishes of violence against colleagues, a lot of this happened in 2019 and before, with the exception of some of the gun rallies. Basically, she thought that Nancy Pelosi was guilty of treason, and therefore that is a crime punishable by death because she doesn't support the border wall. So because Nancy Pelosi doesn't support the border wall, she deserves to be executed. See, this is why we can't ever have a proper discussion about Nancy Pelosi, because, like, there's some valid concerns there sometimes, but y'all take it to outer space. Like, focus on, like, the real shit. I promise you there's real shit. On Facebook one time, she basically called for Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton and Nancy Pelosi to all be executed, and supported execution of FBI agents. In April 2018, someone posted, "Now do we get to hang them?" Meaning H&O, Hillary Clinton and Obama. And Greene's account, as they want to say, because they went back and they backpedaled, saying it's just one of the many people orchestrating her account, as if these people just let people loose and run their accounts. Like, that's not how this works. But said, the stage is being set, players are being put in place, we must be patient, this must be done perfectly or liberal judges would let them off. She claimed, I was focused on running my campaign and I have teams of people managing my page, and my social media doesn't reflect who I am. Yeah, it does. Basically, any shooting is a false flag attack too. So there's actually video of her harassing the then 18-year-old David Hogg, just following him and harassing him, and he's ignoring her, and he keeps walking forward because he's like, what the actual fuck is this lady doing? And he just keeps going. Just really, really big of you to try to attack a teenager who threw out shooting. Anyway, and now we get to the part of the video where I've actually talked about Marjorie Greene before in a previous video, because she is a supporter of QAnon. She thinks Q is a patriot, Q is great, Q is saving the country. He is working with Trump to stop socialism and human sacrifices. They make a lot of connections with things that are not connected. So much mental gymnastics going on. She has supported QAnon in a video in 2017, stating there's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to take this global cabal of Satan-worshipping pedophiles out, and I think we have the president to do it. Okay, again, why is it always communism or Satan? those aren't even the same thing. Like, they're not even, communists are completely atheistic, and technically so is the Church of Satan, but they don't act like the Church of Satan is. They act like, again, I'm trying to apply logic to a logicless situation. Not a good idea. She even thinks that JFK Jr. was a Clinton murder. Come on, guys. Family has bad enough luck. They don't need Marjorie Taylor-Greene thrown in there. She's also tried to have reporters arrested for asking questions about her crazy ass beliefs, because that's a good way to downplay the idea that you're crazy. She also thinks that Zionist supremacists, again, buzzword for anti-Semitism, have a white genocide plan where they want migrants from the Middle East to replace native white populations in Europe. I don't think you understand what's going on here. And of course, there was the most recent situation of Jewish space laser. And she did not specifically say Jewish space laser, yes, but I'm going to quickly talk about how the Rothschild family is a several generation banking family. And, you know, just like most banking families have their hands on a lot of different things, but they're Jewish, so it's different this time, I guess. Says that they were working with the company Solarin and the power company PG&E, and Governor Jerry Brown of California were trying to start California wildfires using a satellite with a big blue laser. So anytime you hear Rothschild or George Soros or something like that, it is usually pretty steeped in anti-Semitism, whatever is about to come out of the other person's mouth. Actually, Solarin, the company that she was accusing of having lasers, are like, we don't have lasers, we don't even have a satellite, so literally no way you could have seen something like that because it doesn't exist. And she's just like, sounds like something people with a space laser would say. Even House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy has called her beliefs deeply disturbing, despite constantly backing her up. The Republican Party is eating itself alive. Not as gratifying to watch as I thought it would be. And of course, Mitt Romney is saying there's not enough room in our party tent for conservatives and kooks. And, you know, I'm kind of with Seth Meyers on this one when he said, yes, it is. That's literally what the party is. Holding firm to her beliefs, Marjorie Taylor-Greene, upon facing controversy for the many things that she's posted over social media that were batshit insane, she starts deleting all of them to pretend it never happened. And she's even had her Twitter account blocked before. As mad as I am about having to talk about her in a second video because she was nuts when I talked about her in the QAnon video briefly, I laugh, but it's disturbing. That conspiracy rhetoric is so far ingrained in everything in our country because we have such a complete breakdown of trust between our fellow people and our government. And this is a symptom of that. Marjorie Taylor-Greene can go away, she can get voted out, but it doesn't change the fact that she was the overwhelming favorite and won 75% of her district. This is a problem that I don't know if there's a solution for. I hope there is. And I hope that there are many people smarter than I trying to work on it, and I think there are. But we've got to really start thinking about how there are conspiracy theories that are very harmful and extremely false, and how not everyone's opinion is valid. You should definitely be able to say it, because I don't want to have people in my life who are secretly thinking things like that without me calling them out. But I don't know. It's like, how much more of this? This is exhausting. The Klan is still a thing. How is the Klan still a thing? Oh yeah, it's because Reconstruction was a complete and utter failure in this country, and has been. So I think I'm just gonna start doing a series of videos with this channel where I talk about those kind of dog whistly words, those buzzwords that you hear dropped a lot, and what they are and what they mean. And I'm not just gonna do it criticizing the conservative side, although, I mean, you guys got some crazies right now. You guys got some hardcore crazies right now. And I say that as someone who doesn't really even like the Democratic Party that much, because most progressives don't. I am against calling for unity over accountability, but there's a schism that isn't good right now, and I don't know what we're gonna do about it. If you like this video, click like, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications of when I upload further videos. I promise it's gonna be more now. And I will see you guys next week. Thanks for watching. Bye.